So welcome back for another Let's Talk IT Pro. My name is Rafael Perez. I'm your host for today. And today we're going to talk about Windows AutoPilot. So this is a new feature. Well, not quite new, but it's been for about a month, maybe 2 months. And the idea for this is you don't ship you don't actually buy the machine and get the machine delivered to the IT. You deliver the machine direct to the user, and the user actually have the experience to open the device. So Microsoft is working with some of the providers, HP, Dell, and so on. So when you buy a new machine, you can get this code from there, and you just import it to the Windows Store for Business. And what happens is, as soon as the user opens the machine is connected to your company, to your Azure subscription. So what happens is the machine is automatically added to your Azure domain. Domain controller, local on-prem domain controller is not working, is on the future release, and we automatically get, for example, your MDM settings. So if you're Intune, then it's going to automatically connect to the Intune, get your Intune policies, applications, and so on. So the IT don't need to actually be receive the machine, do OS deployment, and ship the machine to the user. So there are cases where this is possible. There are cases where not all companies are going to use this. But what happens if you have a number of machines already and you want to get the data out of it? Or you just have lots of machines you already bought from the vendor and you want to get the data from those machines. So I'm going to run a script. So I will show you where to get this script from. And you can use, for example, Configuration Manager to deploy to all your existing machines. And the method I'm going to show you now is a manual step to actually get this. It's exactly the same data from, for example, a machine that doesn't have Windows build yet. So it does have a Windows, that's the OEM Windows, but doesn't have your, for example, any other Windows actually in a working state. So I'm going to move here to my VM. So this is my VM. This is the experience the user normally have when you start a OEM. You have the languages and so on. This Autopilot only works with Windows 17, Windows 10, 1703 plus the latest hotfix, or Windows 1709 plus. So recommendations to use 1709. It will not work with 1607 or earlier version Windows 7, Windows 8. So if you are on the screen, this is a Windows 10 Enterprise 1703. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click Ctrl Shift F3. So what's going to happen is I'm going to enter on Windows, but without actually going through the whole process. And because I'm on auditing mode, so I can do a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to do is to create a folder for us to download the PowerShell script that we are going to use. This PowerShell script is made from, well, Microsoft made this PowerShell script, but you can open and get some where they get the data from. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going just to open PowerShell as administrator, and I'm going to first change the execution policy for unrestricted. So this is because we do need to have this unrestricted, okay? Or you can sign the script, or the other option, you can have a local restricted remote sign. So now I'm going to actually create a folder. So temp, and I'm going to move to temp, and I'm going to get the script. So I have already the command. I'm just not typing everything again. So it's a save script, get the Windows AutoPilot info. So this actually is going to connect to the PowerShell gallery and download the script. While it's downloading, I will just pause the video and be right back with you. So the installation finished. So if I open here the ctemp, we have here the PS file. So what I'm going to do is, I have here the command line. I'm going to execute this PowerShell. So Windows AutoPilot info output file. And what we should get here on temp is this CSV file. This CSV file, if I open here, contains the serial number of this device, a product ID of the OS, and the hardware hash of the hardware. So this information I will now need to copy to my machine. So because this is a VM, I will need to get out of this VM and be ready to use on the Windows Store for Business. So I will pause the video and be right back with you guys. So I just copy the file. So if I open here, I have exactly the same file I had there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this and reboot this machine, keep the sysprep with the information that's there. So click OK. And while it's actually rebooting, I'm going to move here to the Store for Business, Microsoft Store for Business. You can sign up for free, so you can click here to manage. And here on the bottom we have the devices, so I will create a autopilot. Let's try again. Just be sure there is no problems. Okay, now we don't have a problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a autopilot deployment, create a new profile. So I will put this as default. What this profile is about, so some of the options we will be able to skip. So in this case we skip Cortana, OEM, registration, OneDrive, automatically select the option for work for school, and the signing experience will be the company branded. So the information you have your Active Directory, so Azure Active Directory branding will automatically be populated to the machine during the logon experience the first time. I can also skip the private settings, I will do. I can disable the local admin, so the user that's connecting will not be automatically local admin on the machine. My account is, because I'm part of the global administrators in Active Directory, in this Azure, and I added myself to always be local admin on any machine on this paris.net.br domain. And here we also going to skip the end user license, so the end user will not see anything. And I will create here the profile. So we have the profile. Now I'm going to import the device. So I have here the autopilot file. Open. If I have a group, I could then browse here to the group. I don't have. Or you can actually put the name. In my case here, I will just say no thanks. It's imported. So I will click here to refresh the screen. And now I have my virtual machine, not assigned to any profile, serial number, Windows ID, and data has been added. So I will select this machine, and on the autopilot deployment, I will apply the default profile we just created and refresh the list. So that virtual machine now is part of my default group. So what I'm going to do now is go back to my VM. So I will select the United Kingdom. Now I will select the keyboard layout I'm using. In my case here I'm using United States. international. I will skip a second keyboard, and then I will connect to the network. Because this is a VM, so I could have the cable. Let's say it's a normal computer, I could have the cable, or if I need to connect to Wi-Fi, then I would connect to a Wi-Fi to get the account. So now here we can see it's automatically connected or try to connect to my domain, the paris.net.br. And what is the user that we can actually connect here? So I'm just going to then connect to my user, Rafael at Perez. I'm going to enter the password. And you can see here there is a branding, automatically branding for this environment. Because my account has two-factor authentication enabled, I need to actually accept this authentication. So I'm just getting here the authenticator, and I will accept this. Approved. And it's now automatically adding the computer, perform the changes that is required, set up in my device, so connecting to Azure AD, connecting to all those places need to connect, and then we'll give the machine the way I want. So if you're the MDM provider, for example, Windows Intune, AirWatch, and so on, automatically deploy the software, then you would automatically start getting the software. So if you have, for example, Microsoft Office, you would start getting Microsoft Office. Because you are getting this through the internet, your network now. So if your network is slow, it's going to take longer to actually receive those files or those applications. While you actually go through this setup, you just pause the video and be right back. So now my machine is actually connected. What I'm going to do is, go to system information here. So the account, if I show you, is already connected to the Azure AD. And is being managed by also my MDN provider, that in this case is Microsoft Intune. So thank you for watching this video. In the next one we are going to look at how to automate the step to grab the data. Thank you for watching. See you next one.